What would you rather have a police officer carrying, a handgun or a pain ray? I'm Anthony, this is D-News, and Raytheon has created a handheld, non-lethal pain ray. We've talked about Raytheon before, right? They build exoskeletons, autonomous turrets, really high-end military stuff. I tend to think of them as Stark Industries before Tony Stark sobered up. Over the last decade, Raytheon's been tinkering with an energy weapon called active denial. It's a crowd dispersal system, basically a gigantic ray gun mounted in a truck hundreds of yards away, blasts controlled microwaves into a crowd, making them instantly unbearably hot, and their reflexes kick in and they make them move, and then the pain is gone. An active denial unit was sent to Afghanistan in 2010, but it was recalled before it was ever used. The National Institute of Justice said it was because of this huge public outcry against it. People were worried that it would be abused. Maybe the biggest reasons the military never wound up using it were cost and efficiency. Here's this thing the size of a truck. It takes 16 hours to boot up, so if you really want it ready at all times, you have to keep it running at all times. And that's a lot of fuel. But now, Raytheon is working on a version that is the size of a rifle for law enforcement use. Smaller and more efficient, but just as powerful. The idea is more non-lethal weapons in the hands of law enforcement means a safer public and less escalation of violence in big hostile situations. But how safe is a microwave gun, really? Active denial uses millimeter waves, highly controlled radiation that penetrates about 0.4 millimeters into the skin. And a few studies have shown that millimeter waves can't cause cancer, they won't hurt your eyes, they won't mess with your reproductive system, they don't even affect pacemakers in the area. The ray has been tested on 11,000 people and there were 8 injuries, 6 small blisters, and then 2 burns that required medical attention. That's about the same frequency of injuries as a taser. Feels like a pretty safe alternative to a firearm, so why not use it? Well, what popped into your head when I said taser? Probably a bunch of YouTube videos of police abusing tasers. There are a ton of reports of them being used on children, the elderly, peaceful protesters. Non-lethal weapons have a tendency to be way overused. They're thought of as a step before firearms instead of an alternative to them. And a lot of groups in and out of the government were worried about active denial being misused when it was the size of a truck. What happens when police, prison guards, military, they have this handheld personal device that causes intense pain without any evidence that it's been used afterward? Police have to account for every round of ammo fired. Couldn't the device somehow report every time it's been used? I don't know. What do you guys think about a pain ray getting out there in circulation? Let me know down below and subscribe for more D-News.